happy Italian Heritage Month. Sorry I can't be with you at the flag raising today, but it's so important in our city that we celebrate Italian heritage. The Italian community has been such a big part of our community. I hope everyone continues to stay safe and have a great month.
While I am disappointed that we can't come together in person this year, I am excited to participate in today's virtual event, and I'm looking forward to the day where I can safely welcome you back to the State House. And with that, I will begin the reading of the proclamation. Whereas this is the 21st anniversary of the observance of October as Italian American Heritage Month under legislation signed in 1999 by Governor Paul Salucci, and
whereas this is the 528th anniversary of Admiral Christopher Columbus's discovery of the New World, and
whereas this year Italians celebrate the 75th anniversary of the birth of their republic, and
whereas Dr. Anthony Fauci, grandson of an Italian immigrant, brilliant and highly respected immunologist, advisor to presidents, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, called heroic for his contributions to HIV/AIDS research, widely recognized as a leading authority and trusted advisor on the COVID-19 pandemic, and
whereas Federico Fellini, Italian filmmaker, reputed to be the best film writer and director of all time, for his creative focus on fantasy and history, and
whereas we celebrate the contributions of the poet, labor organizer, and social activist Arturo Giovannitti, who emigrated from Italy to the United States in 1904, and was wrongfully charged with, but found not guilty of murder in the death of Anna Locchioso during the famous Red and Roses strike in 1912 in Lawrence. And
whereas we celebrate the distinguished career of Geraldine Ferraro, proud daughter of an Italian immigrant, 3 terms in the House of Representatives, and first woman United States vice presidential candidate of a national party.
Now therefore, I, Charles D. Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim October 2020 to be Italian American Heritage Month and urge all citizens of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance. Now that's the way we end proclamations here in Massachusetts. Right next to my name on those proclamations is another great Italian American, Lieutenant Governor and my partner, KARYN POLITO. I'm sitting in the governor's office. Up on the wall is a painting of John Volpe, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, another great Italian American. If you take a walk down the hall to the Lieutenant Governor's office, you'll see a painting of Paul Salucci, my boss when I worked in the Bill Weld and Paul Salucci administrations back in the 90s. Another great Italian American. Let's face it, folks, Massachusetts would not be what it is today without the presence of so many generations of creative, imaginative, hardworking, community-driven Italian Americans. There are whole parts of Massachusetts that still carry with it an incredibly powerful Italian American sensibility. And that's because they believe in community and they believe in their community. And over the years, we have all been enormous beneficiaries of what they bring to the table every single day. And I'm going to close with one more. I carry this around in my pocket every day. It was given to me by Jared Monte's father. Jared Monte is from Fall River, Massachusetts, and he's a Medal of Honor recipient who died on the field of battle in the war against terror. I carry this for 2 reasons. The first is he's a Massachusetts kid who did heroic things to try to save some of the folks that he was working with and trying to protect on the field of combat. The second reason I carry it is to remind me time and time again, no matter how tough my day is, it's never as tough as his were, never as tough as his families were, never as tough as his fathers are every single day, thinking about what he lost when he lost his son Jared. And it also reminds me that we all, here in the Commonwealth of Mass, especially those of us in public service, owe a tremendous debt to those who put themselves in harm's way. And I got news for you. Many of those people over the course of generation after generation after generation have been Italian Americans from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So if you have a chance today or sometime this month, take a minute, think about some of your friends and neighbors and colleagues who are Italian Americans, and think about the contribution that they and their families and their ancestors have made to this great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Have a great October.
Warm greetings to you all. My name is Tony Fauci, and I am the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health and a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force. I am humbled and deeply grateful to be honored by Governor Charles Baker of Massachusetts in his 2020 proclamation commemorating October as Italian American Heritage Month. Both sets of my grandparents came to America at the turn of the 20th century. My maternal grandparents grew up in Naples, where my grandfather was an artist and my grandmother was a young seamstress. My paternal grandparents were from Sciacca, Sicily, where my grandfather's family ran a hot springs spa. When my grandparents immigrated to New York City via Ellis Island, they initially settled in Lower Manhattan's Little Italy, which is where my mother and father were born. Independently, both my mother and father's families later moved to Brooklyn, which is where they met, married, and raised me and my sister. My father was a pharmacist, and our entire family joined in helping him run the Fauci Pharmacy. In my experience, many Italian American immigrants who came to America were imbued with a spirit of gratitude, passed on from grandfather to father to grandson. This spirit was love of this country and the desire to give back to it. That certainly was the spirit instilled in me, originating with my grandfather and passed on to my father and from him to me. This spirit emanates from the lingering appreciation for having come from another country to America and being welcomed and encouraged to make it your home. And so there was a strong desire to pay back. My way of paying back was by choosing public service. I chose to become a physician because I was pretty good at science, but also I wanted personal interactions with people. By working at NIH, I could continue seeing patients, but also conduct medical research, as well as contribute to our country on a larger scale as director of NIAID, my institute, which has allowed me to help our country respond to challenging public health emergencies in infectious diseases, including HIV, the anthrax attacks, Ebola, Zika, and now COVID-19. This has been my way of paying back, and this spirit of public service continues to motivate me every day. So thank you again for this personal tribute and our shared, treasured Italian heritage that it honors. Please stay safe and keep well, and again, thank you very much.